What's up, guys? It's Ben. I'm here with another episode of Shut the Punk Up, and it's been a couple weeks. It's been fucking busy. We had Pork Fest, and we're gonna kind of do a follow up on that. I brought my homie Toad on because he hung out at the emo hub pretty much the entire week. It was great getting to chill with him. But we're just kind of like shoot the shit tonight, kind of talk about how Pork Fest went, why he's a failed presidential candidate and not the presidential nominee for the Libertarian Party, and why he bailed out on the last show halfway through and just disappeared and never came back. Yeah, let's bring him up on stage. Yo, Toe, what's up, bro? How you doing tonight, man? Also, if there's any audio issues, let us know who's quiet, who's loud. We're gonna try to adjust accordingly. We're all getting set up here, so we got a Team Toad already, bro. From someone named Toad. Yeah, Team Toad. Toad is totally gonna Maj. I hope you didn't pay him. I did not pay him. Toad is not a prostitute. He liberties for free. So he wishes he could get paid, but he's a 4 out of 10 on the attractiveness scale. And I don't think that they pay people unless they're at least a 5. So I'm not saying Maj is a 5. He did not deserve that money. Anyways, dude, how you doing, man?
He's black, so that's an immediate 2-point deduction right off the bat. I think we could get me up to a 5.
All right, are you guys gonna switch spots or something?
Yeah. I'm taking over.
How you been, man? How you holding up since Pork Fest?
I'm doing all right. I'm sober now, so I didn't get wild. I smoked some weed. That was about it.
Brandy says Toad is quiet, so you can do that on your side.
Fuck, I'm usually a loud motherfucker.
Toad, turn your shit up is what she said. But dude, it was a good time. Kind of started off a little crazy for me. I didn't even get up there till almost 10 p.m. It was pitch black, and you saw how big my tent was. It was 32 by 18. We had a bunch of people come out when it was pitch black, and try to help us set it up. And I'm so thankful to all of them because, my God, it was a lot of work to figure all that shit out in the dark with bad instructions from China and it was wild. It was pretty fucking crazy.
You pitch a large tent, sir.
Unlike
the commies who manufactured it.
Yeah. There's much smaller tents being pitched in the general vicinity of the Emo Caucus Hub. That's for sure. I think we pitched the biggest tents at Pork Fest. If I might be biased, but across the street there were some really small tents going on. So.
Yeah, that Free Talk Live place. Not very boner inducing. I don't want to see tranny titties.
I actually didn't see any this year. So,
good for
anyways, dude, so how was your Pork Fest? Did you have a good time? What did you do? When did you get there? What were your favorite moments of Pork Fest?
I had a good time. It's always a good time, man. Even though I think there were some things that were lacking at this particular Pork Fest. I think that, as some of the LPNH people will tell you, you saw Bill and Jeremy kind of ranting about it. The fact that I think Dennis Pratt no longer runs it, so now whoever's running it seems kind of focused on let's have more milquetoast speakers at the pavilion or whatever. Apparently they had a fucking nude dance party at the pavilion. What the fuck? So they had all these other good events, the stuff that you were putting on and stuff that LPNH were putting on. Those events were not pavilion worthy, even though they drew larger crowds. We had those at the tents. But yeah, dude, I mean, it's a Pork Fest. I like hanging out with all you motherfuckers, even though it's gay. My favorite part is just the fact that it's a hangout. Obviously, I enjoyed being able to play ukulele, being able to read Hans Hermann Hoppe. So I like those events. I liked the music that you and Brandy played. I liked hanging out with Reed Coverdale because he's my homie.
Did you watch him do karaoke at Punk Rock Karaoke?
Yeah, he's good.
Dude, he did great. Him and what's her name? Hilda. Hilda. They did a Johnny Cash duet, and it was freaking awesome. That dude has actually a pretty good voice for that.
Johnny Cash, June Carter. Yeah, Reed's got a very low masculine voice. He can definitely do the Johnny Cash. I liked it. That was good. Karaoke was fun too. And then because there were so many people doing karaoke, I found another karaoke tent.
I know. I was walking by and I heard someone singing Wrecking Ball. And I
Yeah,
was
that
like,
was
what the
me.
fuck? That sounds like Toad. And I look over and I was like, holy shit, Toad is rocking more karaoke tonight.
Mm-hmm.
That was fucking cool. But
Yeah.
you were, dude, you was swatting away bitches. It's true.
Mm-hmm.
It was
Yeah.
just women in the women's, all pork fest. They were just fawning over you. And yeah. So tell me how that went, dude. Were you able to maintain your virginity?
Yeah, I got to stay pure. Maintained it, man. It was close. Bitches were all over me to the point where I had some of them knocking on my door, trying to knock my hotel door down. I almost got raped, but I avoided it.
What he's actually saying right now is actually true. Like it actually happened. I heard the whole story. He actually said he was concerned that someone was stalking him and possibly looking in his windows at some point. So, yeah. So I'm just saying it was fun though. But yeah, it was like a crazy week for sure. Like we get it started. Really the emo hub didn't really start until like Wednesday. We had like metal night, and I think that really kind of kickstarted off to like the right way. We had like shit ton of mosh pits that night. I don't know if you were there, but like Tom Mannion's one of the state reps here in New Hampshire, and dude, like he was there moshing the entire week pretty much. Like it
Oh,
was
at emo
awesome
night?
at new metal night, emo night, like all of it, dude. He was grinding out there. And actually, like some of the video I got of people like moshing inside of our tent was great. There was like 10 mosh pits that broke out on Wednesday night. Really fun time. I got a lot of really good feedback from metal night, so I'll probably have to do it again next year now. But
I'm too old for that shit. Although I was in the middle of a fucking mosh pit the last weekend or whatever, like weekend before Pork Fest. Saturday night, a mosh pit broke out at the fucking jungle in Somerville, which is not what you would expect at a prog rock show, basically. Well, prog / emo, I guess. So that's probably why it happened. The dude from the opening band was like, "Fuck you, I'm gonna start a mosh pit right now," and people just started throwing down. I'm like, all right, I guess this is happening.
I saw Reverend Horton Heat last year, and there was mosh pits busting out at rockabilly shows. So, I mean, anything's possible. So,
Yeah.
but dude, it was a good time. Like, so I think it was on Thursday or Friday, we did Dairy Queen Story Hour, and you read a beautiful excerpt by Hans Hermann Hoppe, one of your favorite chapters. You actually followed up Jeremy Kaufman, who read his favorite, most libertarian Dr. Seuss book. You both wore full drag, which means you already have the boobs. You just needed a wig. So,
right. And we both read Nazi literature too.
I mean, essentially. But I guess like kind of like brief everyone. Like, what did you read? What was it about? I mean, it's probably one of the most controversial Hoppe chapters that he's ever written, and I think that I could actually hear Brandy's eyes rolling in the back of her head while she was making food while you were reading that. By the way, it was actually pretty freaking comical to look over and see her. You know what I mean?
Well, that's because she was making food, so she had her back to me, so she needed to see what I was doing. So her eyes rolled all the way back to the back of her head, so she could watch me. That's why that was happening.
She was so intrigued by your anti-progressivism rant that it's just how it was. Yeah.
I had to like try to read an excerpt that I'd be able to do in a half hour because Jeremy and I think each did a half hour basically. So I think I timed that actually pretty well.
Yeah.
Where I basically just guessed. I was like, I think this will probably be about a half hour. It was the last half, I believe, of the chapter from Democracy, the God That Failed, Hans Hermann Hoppe. It is the chapter about conservatism and libertarianism, I believe is what it's called. It's the most controversial chapter. Everybody knows. Everybody just makes fun of that one line or gets pissed off at that one line about the physical removal. But you have to like hear it in context. So I was like, I'm going to do that. I'm going to trigger people, but I'm also going to like give you the full context of what he's talking about here. So that chapter is essentially, the idea of that whole chapter is that if you actually want to maintain a libertarian order or a pro-liberty society, a society that actually has some semblance of sanity, liberty, values liberty, that you have to enact your freedom to disassociate, and you have to disassociate from essentially leftists, egalitarians, and kick them out of your society. Essentially, like, we don't care where the fuck they go, but they're not going to live here with us because they're going to cause our society to degenerate.
Matt Wright says, "What's up?" I say, "What's up back, bro? How you doing?"
What's up, Matt?
Brandy says Spike is the superior Hoppian. I would actually love to see you guys argue on Hoppianism, because I think you guys are like, you're both Hoppian, but you both kind of have a different perspective on it a little bit. I don't know. It'd be very interesting to see that.
We argued a little bit about it. I don't know if he actually considers himself to be one, because his argument is essentially that it would devolve into the state, but then you just get into, that's like the stereotypical argument against anarchy in general, or against anarchism. Well, you'd wind up,
that's my argument against minarchy. So like, that's literally my argument against minarchy. Like, it can never shrink, it can never maintain its size, it's always going to grow, which is why anarchy is not a place or a destination, it's a relationship. You can't have Anarchapistan, it's just not fucking possible. True. As an anarchist, I fully believe that this is true. So you did that. You played an awesome ukulele set, and that was great at the Emo Hub. So you
during a thunderstorm, and
dude, it was
down basically.
You had like a crowd because of the thunderstorm, and then it started fucking raining behind you. Like the rain started pouring into the tent because the fucking shit got so crazy.
Yeah, the crowd was because I'm awesome. Come on.
The crowd was because you're awesome. And also people wanted to get out of the rain.
All right. Yeah.
But dude, everyone was there to see you. Like everyone heard your singing voice. You were singing some really good songs. You sang some emo songs. And you sang a little bit of everything. You sang, what didn't you start off with? Was it Motion City Soundtrack, or was it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's Get Fucked Up and Die. It's the
Let's
first
Get Fucked
song
Up and
I learned
Die.
how to play. Yeah.
Such a good song. Michael McIntyre says, promote degeneracy in your local community. Can agree more. It was actually really great hanging out with McIntyres. I fucking love those guys. They were at the Hub all week too, and we had a.
Oh yeah, that's Lauren's husband. I remember her more than I remember him.
Yeah. Well, me and Mike, he was slamming down those Yum 41 breakfast sandwiches all week because they're fire.
Those are good. Dude, Brandy's cooking is fucking awesome. I'm jealous of you.
Thanks. Dude, I just ate some for great food. It's like right here. Right before you got on, I was smashing down a burger and a Mac to remember, basically. So it was good.
You had all the emo puns going on. That was awesome.
Yeah. The taking back Sammy's and the Yum 41 breakfast bowls. So good. Oh, and we had our dog there. So I think that like half the time people were at our hub was probably just because they were petting our dog, but it was fine.
You just had, everything to draw people in.
Pretty much. The only thing we were missing was boobs. Maybe next year. We're actually talking about doing like a burlesque show. Maybe next year. We wanted to do it this year, but it just didn't happen. So
you want me to be one of the dancers?
Yeah, dude. I got some pasties for you. So we already have the wig, as you know. So
I need to wear pasties. I got to cover them up.
It's implied nudity, bro. It's not full nudity. So yeah, implied nudity.
Anytime I see a woman, it's implied nudity.
Yeah. It's so ridiculous. Like I guess like what are some of your favorite other moments for PorkFest? Like I know that a lot of people really a lot of people wanted to see a comedy event at the pavilion this year, which didn't happen. So they did it right next door to us at the LP&H tent, which it ended up being a huge success for them. There's a lot of people that were there. It happened to fall, unfortunately, in line with one of our events that we had planned too. So we could only lower our volume by so much so that our people would stay. And you know what I mean? So I don't know. Like it was, but dude, we got to get you to do some comedy next year. I've been saying this. You got to do some stand-up for us. You're one of the funniest motherfuckers I've ever met.
Thank you. My stand-up needs some work. I've only done like 3 open mics basically. And I did have one. There was this weird situation where I was at a concert once and the opener for the concert was a stand-up comedian and he was terrible. And he spent like half of his set trying to crank call somebody and the person wasn't picking up and everybody was booing him. We're like, this fucking sucks. I was right near the front. I was like, you fucking suck. And he was like, then you get up here and do better. And I was like, okay. He invited me up. I'm like, you're making a mistake, bro. So I got up there and I just did like 3 of my jokes, and people laughed a little bit at mine. I'm like, I did better than you, motherfucker.
That's
Like,
funny. Well,
yeah.
I kind of think that that's how comedy at Porkfest usually goes. There's usually like 1 or 2 funny people. Everyone else is just horribly not funny. But the difference is that like we're all desperate for comedy at Porkfest, so everyone just kind of stays the whole time. Nobody walks out, and maybe a few people walk out, but uh, there's definitely like a lot of not funny people that try to do comedy at Porkfest usually. So
Well, yeah, the comedy show, like they should have at least set it up as an actual comedy show, because I thought that's what it was going to be, and I was like, oh, all right, they have that dude Mo opening. I don't find him funny personally, but I know he does comedy like at the bar scene and whatever. I'm like, all right, so he's going to open, and then it's probably going to be Daniel Rothschild, who I legit think that guy's funny. Like I like his stuff, but he did like a small set at that comedy show, and it just wasn't good. And then I was like, all right, and then Bill's going to be the headliner. Bill was pretty funny. Bill was like the only one who was actually good during the comedy thing, but he also delegated it out to not just those 2 other comedians, but to like 10 people. So he had
Bill
people
was
coming.
practiced. He had a set
He's good.
plan for this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Kind of. So everyone else kind of just was like, "Oh, we're doing something this year.
Right.
Add me in, bro." You know what I mean?
Right, but I kind of expected like the dudes who actually do comedy, you can kind of like I would kind of expect like, hey, you're gonna do a couple minutes and they'd still be able to get up and like put together a couple of things, like just tell some jokes that you've told before. Basically, that didn't really happen. And then Bill also had like 6 or 7 other people come up who aren't comedians. I think they were basically just like advertising shit, and I'm like, what is happening here? I mean, Jeremy Kaufman's a funny dude in general, but I'm like, this isn't really a comedy show. And then they had that weird chick from New York who got like thrown out of Soapbox Idol for like stripping on stage.
When
You
did
didn't
this
hear about
happen?
that?
I have no idea what you're talking about. I was in my tent the whole time, so
Yeah, there was this chick who they said she's actually a comedian from like Brooklyn. They brought her in. She was like, I think she was like Latina, which explains why she's a fucking lunatic. So she did like 3 minutes or so at the LPNH comedy set. I didn't find her funny. And then somehow, even though she's not even in attendance at Porkfest, really, they just brought her in to do that like small comedy set. She somehow got into Soapbox Idol. And I missed this because I was doing drunk history with Reed, which we won't talk about because that was the biggest failure of Porkfest. No offense to anybody there, but I mean, I'm a sober man now, and Reed has such massive alcohol tolerance that he just doesn't change the way that he is at all, even when he's like 4 drinks in. But while we were doing that, apparently that comedian chick got up for Soapbox Idol. I don't even know what the hell I think she was basically, her point was, you all should fuck, basically. And she started like stripping on stage, and they like cut her off and were like, you can't do that. There are kids in the audience, which at least yay for Porkfest on that. So the same people who were fine with like a nude dance party in the pavilion at least cut this chick off. Maybe it's because she's fucking ugly, so nobody wants to see her.
that would make sense. I mean, I was like, no one's gonna turn down seeing titties at Porkfest if
But the
they're
nude
girls.
dance party was all men, so that's even worse.
Yeah, no, that's pretty common though for Porkfest. Like most of the time, the body freedom area, from what I understand, is just like a sausage fest, literally. There's never women there. I guess they do nude yoga. And I mean, I've seen like posts online. I've actually like never even tried to venture close to it because this is not my thing. But it's like I've seen some pictures in the past, and they have like maybe one woman show up to do nude yoga, and everyone else is just like dongs out, for liberty type shit. And it's I don't know. This year, like some of the problematic people from like last year weren't there. So I think that whole situation, I think, went a lot smoother. And I hope if they want to keep doing that, which I don't care. Like I said, I didn't see anything, and I don't think anybody, I didn't see or hear anybody encroaching in a way that was like it was in the past, where they were just walking up and down all the alleys with no clothes on.
Right. Well,
I did hear there was a situation on like Tuesday where one of the seasonal people like pulled a knife out on somebody for having his dong too close or something. But that got situated and handled. I don't know how, but yeah. So other than that, I heard no problems with body freedom. As long as they stay in their area, I don't give a fuck what they do. They
Right.
can have an all dude dicks out for liberty orgy, and
Yeah.
I'm not going to say shit. So it
It's
doesn't
fucking
affect the
gay.
emo hub,
It's
doesn't
gay.
affect what I'm doing where I'm at. So fuck it.
Yeah. Well, I think last year, like the main offender, little Hives reference for you. That guy who I think he walked nude like down into like the main area there. I think he got banned from Porkfest. So at least
I
good
don't know
on
if he was
that.
banned, but I know he moved back to California.
All right.
He's been problematic for years,
Well,
though.
he belongs there.
I mean, yeah, he's been problematic there for years. I mean, I was one of the people who helped have him purged from situations out there. So, he nonsense. But he was like walking around last year in like a hula skirt that was like very revealing, and just his dong down there, which is, like, dude, come on, man. Like,
Yeah, I
I
didn't even
remember
see
last year. It was not.
Yeah,
I don't know. People are way overconfident of how their penises look too. I don't know, but anyways.
I'm not.
Well, you almost won Cocktober last year, so I know we talked a little bit about that at Porkfest. You were this close, probably literally.
I think it was close. I don't know. Yeah, that was Tower Gang during October. We had our fans submit their penises to me, and then I had to describe them on the air because we can't actually show them. And while I did that, I also sent the dick pic to the rest of the Tower Gang hosts, so then they could like agree or disagree with me, and we rated all the dongs. And it wasn't just the rating of the dong itself, it was the rating of how the pic looked. Mine was just kind of like straightforward. I don't know. Or I just think it was more like people were like, I don't know, they expected it to be smaller than it is, basically. I don't know, even though it still is small. I did not win. I think I came in second. Maybe I came in third. I don't know. Raven won. Top's Nephilim Death Squad co-host. He won, even though he has one ball.
It's insane, dude. That is absolutely insane.
He's got a decent dick.
Jesus Christ. Well, okay, so we've talked way too much about penises during this episode, but I will say this, all right? Like, it was a good time hanging out with you. You had a killer set, great time. I definitely enjoyed having you hanging around the hub and stuff. What were some of your, like, in your opinion, what were the absolute best events of Porkfest? What were the things that you loved? What are some of the things that you hope that they do different next year and improve on?
I mean, that last question I think is easy. Like, I do think that I would like to see better, like, pavilion speakers again, like they had in the past. Like, I've been there 4 years in a row now, and every year besides this one, it was like, Scott Horton is speaking at the pavilion, or some of these other like Libertarian Institute guys, or Bob Murphy, Tom Woods, Dave Smith doing a comedy show, like stuff like that. And that like draw as well.
I agree. And actually, I said this earlier.
And
this
Clint
might be
spoke as well one of those years. Yeah, so like these big speakers.
This might be controversial. I don't really care, but I honestly like. There's a lot of like people who I saw that were dude speakers that were literally kind of just seemed like they were just filler. You know what I mean? It's like they needed to fill the schedule, so they just put somebody up there that just wanted to talk. I mean, I had a talk planned, but I mean, I hope mine wasn't filler. Hopefully, it was more interesting than half of these other guys. But it seemed like a lot of them were just like, I don't know, like just thrown into the situation that they shouldn't have been in, and then also like a lot of like Naomi Wolf. Like, who gives a fuck about Naomi Wolf?
I missed her.
Yeah,
I don't even remember when she spoke.
She's like decent on like one thing, but
yeah, I was gonna go to that because I think she was probably talking about war. I assume, right?
Nobody wants to listen to that many women speak. There's a lot of women speakers.
Fair.
That might be that's the controversial part that I was gonna say, but like I think it's kind of true. Like there was too many girl speakers. Sorry guys.
Well, yeah, like I was there the whole week. I was there on Monday, and I think I only was interested in like maybe 3 of the pavilion events. So I went to Jack Hunter might have been the best like pavilion talk, and he was like right off the bat, he was like Monday or Tuesday. He's good, man. I like that. He's an anti-war conservative like journalist, dude. He was awesome. And then like I went to the first of the 2 debates, which was meh, I would say. I think it was like David Friedman versus Gene Epstein, and
Yeah.
David really took liberties with the debate resolution. It got a bit Jewy,
Well,
which is very expected.
I will say that like I'm friends with some of the people that were working in the pavilion, and they were like,
Yeah.
it seemed like there was a lot less people interested in even being at the pavilion this year than in years past. So I mean, overall, attendance for PorkFest was a bit down because they capped off the attendance to only 1,600 this year due to all the like the facilities issues and the water issues they had in the years past, where people were running out of water, the hotel was out of water.
Yeah,
It was not a good problem.
It was going to turn into Woodstock '99.
Yeah, dude. And I mean, I played break stuff on Wednesday night. We didn't want to see that shit starting to burn down on Wednesday night. You know what I mean? Like some, doing some of that, the good old Fred Durst shit.
Yeah,
we weren't trying to
new metal night. Yeah.
Yeah. I even prefaced that song was like, do not break my shit.
Yeah. There was moshing during it, but yeah. Luckily, my ukuleles were not in your tent yet because my set was on Thursday, so I think I didn't move the stuff up there until Thursday.
Yeah,
so that would have been a little bit dangerous for my ukes. Having them in like the tent that was blowing over in the rain and stuff was dangerous enough. But dude, the best events were the shit that the emo caucus put on, like those and LPNH. Like that's where everything was. Those are the best events. Karaoke, I love karaoke. I would have liked to have done a couple more songs.
I wish I could have gone longer.
Yeah, doing karaoke at that other site I thought was fun as well. Those are some of the better events. The food that you guys put out was fucking awesome. The Warped Tortellini and all that other shit. That was all good. Yeah, like the speakers. Dude, like Kate, Lady Liberty, that was one of the best talks that I saw there, and it was in your zone.
I think awesome. that was probably pavilion worthy. I think a lot of people would have went to that. Yeah, it was definitely a good time. And then I got I didn't even get any spider powers, but I got bit by a fucking brown recluse.
I forgot about that. Yeah. A lot of crazy shit going on.
I'm still popping ridiculous amount of pills every day just to try to get over it, but yeah, feeling better. That was pretty crazy.
Addicted.
Damn, you got ladies in the comments and everything, dude. Still waiting for Toad to scoop me up.
What's up, Shannon? Dude, Shannon, I thought she was still in Florida. Like, my brain is like fucking elsewhere. Like, I'm ready for PorkFest. I'm jumping in my fucking car and I'm doing it. I'm driving up there. I don't even stop. I just drive. That's it. 3.5 hours, or not 3.5, like a little bit over 3 hours. I'm just fucking driving. That's it. She messaged me at some point, like while I was in the middle of my drive. She must have apparently she was in like Boston or in New Hampshire or something. She messaged me to come pick her up. I get to PorkFest. I see this message that she had sent me like 2 hours earlier while I was basically crossing the border into New Hampshire. I'm like, God damn it. So I could have picked Shannon up. Sorry, Shannon.
I had no idea she was out in the area. Does she live out this way or she's visiting?
No, I think she lives in Florida.
Okay. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, karaoke was fun. A lot of people wish it could have gone longer. They had a really hard cutoff at the pavilion for 11 p.m. And there was even somebody standing by with like a decibel reader saying like, hey, that singer was 5 decibels too loud. Can you lower the volume? And I'm like, fuckers. Everyone sings at a different volume. So I was trying to run out to the audience and come back up on stage. Like, what sounds like 5 decibels to me? That's impossible to gauge by ear. So I was doing my best, but it's pretty funny. But
you could start the karaoke event earlier next
This is the most base take I've ever seen. Biblical Anarchy Podcast says,
what's up, Jacob?
Jesus hates Florida. I agree. You guys have everything there wants to kill you. DeSantis wants you to, stop saying shit about gays or something. I don't know what's happening down there. But too many cops, red flag laws. New Hampshire's better, period.
New Hampshire has a higher percentage of libertarians. That is what I will give you.
It is. I mean, it's true. I will say, like, if I was running the festival, I would probably do some things differently. But I'm not running the festival. I don't have the capacity in my life to run a festival right now like that. But I mean, I'd be open to helping produce some stuff like that in the future. I would love to do some stuff that's more music, art, and liberty focused. I talked about having some big artists come and perform possibly next year. Wanted to have somebody come this year. It just didn't happen. but I think that next year we can make something happen. We'll probably have to like do like a fundraiser to get them here or something. But
you're gonna have Franz come.
no, this is someone that everyone at PorkFest is going to know.
He's gonna do some felching.
No, I don't think that the felching tent exists at PorkFest anymore. I think that left with the Jeff Eunice guy. But
Jeff Eunuch,
the nudist dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all in San Francisco again now. So
yeah, there's no more gazebo orgy now at PorkFest, or maybe there is. I don't know. I didn't venture out to the gazebo this time. It was in view. It was in line of sight of Reed's site last year, but this year he was like a couple rows in, so it wasn't in that sight line. Hanging out with Reed was some of my favorite shit as well, man. Like that was like
Reed's one of my favorite people.
Yeah, not an official event, but yeah, he got there on Thursday, and like a couple mornings in a row, I just went over to his site. Fun times. I love Reed. I'm gay for him.
Reed's freaking great. He hung out at the tent a bit, and like I said, his karaoke set was fantastic. How many babies were made at PorkFest this year? We'll see 9 months from now. That's true. I don't know. I mean, Toad had his shot. He had opportunities to create some. We had a couple people coming over to us and were like, "Hell yeah, we have more freedom breeders here." And I was like, "Yeah." And Brandy's over there like cooking up food for everyone, miserable. Well, she's smiling most of the time, but you know, she's like pregnant as fuck, trying to like get through this hot weather, and it's humid and it's raining. I don't even know how she made it, dude. It was crazy. But anyways, can we just address the elephant in the room? Last time you were on my show, you just fucking up and left me halfway through, bro.
I forgot about that.
How do you forget about that, dude? You were almost dying on the floor. I actually texted you. I was like, yo, just hop on through your mobile phone. I
should have, dude. You thought I was in the bathroom? No, I was dying on the floor. So people, if they did not see this, I mean, you can give the backstory of it if people don't know what we're talking about here.
Well, we had like the Super Bowl bet, you know, if the Chiefs won, you know, then you had to do the hot chip challenge. And if I don't remember who the fuck they were playing, won
49. Dude, I lost
49ers.
money I lost actual money on the 49ers too.
If they won, then I had to tattoo Toad on my leg. And
which you did anyway.
Which I did anyways because I thought it was fun, and it came out okay. I showed you at PorkFest; it wasn't bad, right?
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, I mean, it's a spitting image of you, bro.
I'm on your thigh forever.
And then freaking you know, you ended up doing the hot chip challenge, and we started talking about the game, and about like 5-10 minutes into talking the game, you were just dead. I could see it in your face. You were just your eyes glazed over, and you're like, I gotta go, and you just disappeared. And I was expecting to come back like 20-30 minutes. I tried to keep the show going for another 20-30 minutes, waiting for you to come back. And then like the second I shut the show off, because I was like, oh well, he's not coming back. I did a little Q&A. You were like, you texted me. You're like, oh bro, I just finished. I just got back to my computer. I'm still dying, but finished. Yeah, it's pretty wild.
The timing was great on that. It was like, I guess, literally seconds after you ended the stream. I could have come back. If I'd seen your messages, if I wasn't dying on the floor, I could have, phoned in, I guess. But yeah, so that was the third time that I've done the Pocky one chip challenge, which is now illegal. I think they can't make it anymore because one high school kid supposedly died from eating it, which I don't believe that. I think that's BS. Like, I don't think it's possible that it would actually kill you. I think he was probably vaxxed. Like, I'm not even joking. I'm gonna get your stream nuked for saying that. But yeah,
that's fine. I'm not monetized or anything, so you do you, bro.
I do a bunch of like hot challenges, spicy eating challenges, and the chip, it's really hot. It tastes like complete shit. That company actually makes some like really good tasting chips too. Like they have some Reaper chips that are pretty fucking hot, but they actually taste pretty good. This chip is like they infuse it with poison, which is basically the point. It tastes horrible, but it's just one chip. So you get it down. All right, like I can handle that heat. Like it's over basically. But my problem is I think I have like ulcers or something, because then when it's like working its way through my digestive system, it's down to my stomach, and like 30 minutes later, I'm just completely crippled. It feels like my intestines are imploding pretty much. It is so painful. It's insane.
Well, I know you only have about like 10, 15 minutes. You got to jump off and go to Tower Gang. So everyone should watch that.
Yeah, Tower
But I have
Gang.
like really like
if it still exists.
if it still exists, right? Yeah. Weren't you like kicked off like a week ago? We can talk about that in a second.
Probably.
I really have like 2 questions for you. First, I'm gonna open it up with a question though. Hopefully we can get some answers out of you. But I'm gonna open up with a video here real quick.
The studio this morning, one of the gay rights activists, Mr. Should I call you Mr.? Pepe Julian Onzima. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you for
Good morning.
Me. Morning to you.
Why are you gay?
Who says I'm gay?
You are gay. 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 Why are you gay? Gay. Gay. Lesbian? Gay. Homosexual? Gay.
Who says I'm gay?
You are gay. 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 Why are you gay? Gay. Gay. How can I describe you? Gay. You are gay. 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 Gay.
Who says I'm gay?
You are gay. 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 Why are you gay? Gay. 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 Gay.
Yeah. Why
So-
are you gay?
Dude, you made full eye contact all last week, and I was kind of picking up on some vibes a little bit.
With
Is that the reason you were swatting off the women all week? It's because you were
because
actually
my eye
needing
contact is
some-
good.
no, because you're desperate for some manly bear-like affection.
Yeah, I'm a total homosexual. My eye contact is obviously not good because I'm fucking autistic.
It's true. Same.
But I don't know. I had everybody all over me, obviously, men and women. Everybody.
You practically
Swatting
sat on my
everybody away.
lap the entire week, dude. So
I know.
pretty wild. But the other real question was not only why
am
are
I
you gay,
Yeah.
but I will say you were like arguably one of the most failed presidential candidates for the LP this year. So can you tell us what the fuck happened, bro? You're supposed to represent and win for the emos. That's what was supposed to happen. Is it because did the emo caucus not do good enough at supporting you?
Yeah.
Was there just not enough emos in the party to do this yet?
Well,
Like
yeah.
we're not taking over the party quite yet. So
I mean, come on, man. You asked me to run, and then like 2 weeks later, you're like, Franz is our guy now. I'm like, what the fuck? This guy's
I mean,
like
that was big
promoting
news, dude.
Vax propaganda. I'm like, you want this guy instead of me? He's got a fucking OnlyFans.
well, I mean,
And not a good OnlyFans either. If it was just an OnlyFans where he was just plowing hot chicks, I'd be like, all right.
he
But that's-
does how hot chicks on his OnlyFans. I've
Yeah.
never even I've never paid for stuff like that, but I have seen pictures of his wife who he plows on his Instagram on his OnlyFans. And dude, I'm hot. Very hot.
Yeah.
But like I think
it
like
reaches
what
a point where he's doing some gay shit though.
I mean, we were just talking about
Felching
how
your own cum out of
your
your wife's ass crosses the line. You should ask him why he's gay.
Jesus Christ. But I will say this too. Biblical Anarchy Podcast has a point. You lost to a cop. But as did we all. We all lost to a cop because now we have a cop on the presidential ticket for the Libertarian Party.
Yeah, the
which is
cop
unacceptable
is the
to me.
problem, not losing to a faggot.
I mean,
Which
I think
one is
that
worse.
I think that the police part is the worst half of the ticket. I'm being completely honest with you. I think that is the worst half of the ticket because we have somebody who actually exercised qualified immunity as vice president on the Libertarian Party ticket. That is insane to me. Someone who, how can you claim to be against qualified immunity if you've exercised it and used it for your own good? That is fucking crazy. Within the last 2 years.
I'm gonna go ahead
crazy.
and say the child transer is worse than the qualified immunity guy. So I'm gonna go
But you know what you're going to get out of a Democrat. You know what you're going to get out of someone that's that progressive and left. You know that that's what they stand for or where they're at. And their
not
libertarianism.
liberty.
But like, when we're talking about someone else here, which is Mike, like we're talking about somebody who literally, you don't know who you're talking to. This dude's worked for DC and he was a cop. and cops speak out both sides of their ass regularly. So
Sure.
I think this is where my initial skepticism came into play. And we've had multiple conversations with him. He was on my show. He's talked to me multiple times in different forums, like in Boston at the presidential meet and greet. He was at Porkfest last year.
He was there this year. I had
He was there
breakfast
this
with
year.
him.
Yeah. Well, he pretty much ignored me because I called him out after DC thing in the hallway, and I don't think he liked what I had to say. But I don't know, man. Like, I'm not happy. I don't think anybody's really that happy with the ticket right now. There might be like a very small niche of people. Dude, I don't know how to say it. Like, this shouldn't have happened. And to be honest with you, I would have been probably pissed off either way. I think to me, I know you don't like me saying this. I think Lars was the best candidate, but you don't have to agree with me on that. I have my own reasons for that. I think he was the most disruptive to the system with the Stop 270 thing.
Nah.
No, he wasn't, dude. Shut the fuck up with that.
Stop 270 is bullshit.
But you know what else is bullshit? Is calling
Let's go to fucking Maine and try to get one electoral vote, guys. It's loser mentality.
Dude, it's just as fake to say that Lars is some kind of porn king. He never created any kind of porn producing industry. He had a website. He filled a niche. He also created Christian dating websites. Like, the man knows how to fill voids in the market, man. I gotta, the dude made millions of dollars doing it too. So fuck it.
He knows how to fill something.
And let's be completely honest. Half the people bitching about it now, about 10 years ago, if they were of age, they probably would have used Adult Fred Finder because they're libertarians and they can't find anybody that likes them. That's just the truth. So I would actually love to see, I would love to see an Ashley Madison like leak coming from Adult Friend Finder and see how many people in the party today are bitching about Adult Friend Finder when they used it just a few years ago. I think that there'd be quite a few on there. I'm just saying.
Whatever, man. Get on my level and you'll be swimming in bitches. I think I was the most disruptive candidate, to be honest. Like, my platform was completely insane. I also don't even think that I was a failure, really. I think I succeeded.
I think you did exactly what you were supposed to do, man.
I did what I did with literally zero funding. Zero funding. White power.
I'm so stoked that you ran, and I think that, like, you did represent the emos well. You wanted to, tear gas Israel and the Crimea River stuff, and like
meme them until they cry.
You really wanted to bully politicians until they cry. Yeah, like it's
slash your wrists, not your dick off.
Yeah, right. Yeah, and
those were all part of the platform, baby.
I think that it was a pretty ballsy platform, but it was good. And it
should have been me or Josh.
What was it?
Me or Josh? We were the only legit options.
Even Josh was to say, like, after he dropped out or whatever, that he's like, you guys should all vote for Lars. He's the next best choice. So I you might not agree with that either, but I mean, he was also going to put Josh on there for his anti-war as like
what he said was, his thinking, I believe, was that Clint is going to win VP. Clint is going to wind up being like the spokesperson if that's the case, and what we'll have is the presidential candidate be somebody who can fund this shit.
I kind of wish that you and Clint's beef happened before DC so that you could have ran against him for VP. That would have been kind of wild, I think.
Yeah. I could have pulled the Tremont.
Yeah.
Imagine a Chase Toad ticket.
God damn it. No, I mean, who knows how that would happen. As long as you didn't take like 100 milligram weed gummy right before you went up there, I think you might have done okay. So
I can't do that. I get so fucking paranoid from edibles. There's no way I would fucking do that. I would also not run with Chase.
Yeah. I think that would be hard to do. I mean, I was, unapologetically, I am one of the people who voted Noda at the end there.
Fuck yeah.
Hoping that we could get somebody else on there. I mean, people who are saying that, like, if Noda had won, it would have ruined ballot access. That's such bullshit. That's such a lie.
Fuck that shit. No,
they're all
Noda,
liars.
Noda
they're all
300,
liars.
baby. Noda 300. Or however many people there were. I was gone by then because I had to get to a Memorial Day thing. And these fucking losers, they just delay everything. They don't have fucking jobs, families, probably, whatever. All the Chase supporters. Bunch of unproductive ass clowns, basically.
Yeah.
While the rest of us had to fucking leave, like me.
I will say this: there's been obviously already rumors out there. I'm interested in it as well. I will say Spike 2028 would be fantastic. I don't know how you feel about Spike Cohen. I think that he was a fantastic VP candidate, and he should have been the presidential candidate a couple years ago, as opposed to Joe. And I think Spike would be fantastic. I think that he would easily get the nom, and he would like. Are you really going to tell me that that wouldn't have been a million times better than what we have right now? Like
Spike is way better than Chase, yes, but Spike's messaging during the Joe campaign was a lot different than his messaging outside of the campaign. I did not like that. Like his messaging was definitely geared in like a progressive direction, especially the fucking like trans genocide thing. I was like, this is a huge blunder, and it's also not even true in any way.
He came back out, and
I know he walked it back afterwards. So it's like, why the fuck would you even do that in the first place?
Yeah, but I think that
I like Spike in general, though.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to see it. I would really love to see it. It'd be crazy. I don't think that. So if either Spike or Mosh or Dave Smith ran, I don't think any of them would compete with each other. I don't think I would like a Mosh to be on the ticket at all. I actually think that he's probably not on that list for me.
Charay?
A Mosh. Mosh, definitely not.
Justin a Mosh. I was like Mosh Charay. Mosh. What? Who's Mosh?
No. Mosh definitely
Mosh Charay.
Mosh is off my list. He unfollowed me today. He unfollowed me.
I don't think he ever followed me. I think Black Guns Matter might follow me. I don't think he blocked me for tweeting. I quote tweeted him with the crop picker. I said, because he was complaining about the Mosh Charay drink. I was like, you don't like the Mosh Charay drink? Well, maybe this one is more your speed. And I put the crop picker up there.
You're so ridiculous, dude. You're so ridiculous.
The LPNH, that was another one of the best things at Porkfest was LPNH's ridiculous shit posting.
He found like a tweet I sent to him like a year ago after Porkfest last year when I was like, why are you talking shit to the New Hampshire people when you just were given a bunch of money and didn't show up to the event and then never paid it back? Something along those lines. And he saw my old post there, calling him out on that, and he unfollowed me. I've had plenty of conversations with him since, but yeah, I don't care. I mean, it doesn't matter to me. It's not going to hurt my feelings that he unfollowed me, but it is what it is. So
to be honest, I thought one of the most base things that he said was like, we're going to fucking strap up and show up armed to prevent Drag Queen Story Hour from happening. I was like, fuck yeah. That's like
imagine
one of the best things that
if he showed up to our Drag Queen Story Hour.
Yeah, it's a Dairy Queen Story Hour.
He already hates the fuck out of Jeremy. That would have been ridiculous, dude.
Well, that's the problem. I don't think he doesn't understand the like fracturing that exists within New Hampshire. Really, I don't think. Like the Free Talk Live type of people.
Dude, nobody knows the fractures within New Hampshire.
Yeah,
New Hampshire barely understands it. People thought I was in the Mises Caucus up to 2 weeks ago. A couple people here were like, aren't you in the Mises Caucus? Like, I haven't been with the Mises Caucus in over 2 years. No.
You're the head of the emo caucus.
I do my own thing. I stay out of the stupid caucus wars and drama. And I think that I'm better for it, man. Like I'm done with that shit.
Emo caucus, bring people together. Dude, we're gonna unite people through music, I guess. Even though, well, maybe I don't know if we should be uniting with some of these people, but I don't know, dude. I think like through the music shit. I think we're I don't know. There some shit is healing. Let's say I don't know.
Dude, you saw the tent. You see what's happening in our chats and our stuff. There's people on all sides. We all kind of just get along. There's no fighting. Like we just like freaking love music, bro, and we vibe with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, take politics out of it. This is what we're trying to do with Tower Gang, and what I said I wanted to do with my campaign, which is basically just Tower Gang. Like, don't even explicitly talk about politics and just do comedy, or in your case, do music, and just use that to push the culture in the direction that you want it to go, in a pro-liberty direction. And people might latch onto it without even knowing that that's what is happening. Be like, fuck yeah, this is just based.
I mean, that's kind of what my talk was about, right? For, the punk rock liberty talk that I did, like, bringing kind of back that like DIY ethic and that individual drive, going out and talking to people, planting a seed of liberty in people. Somebody else will see it grow. It doesn't have to be you, but just like planting liberty seeds everywhere, and I'm not talking about freedom seeds, which are bullets. I'm talking about liberty seeds.
Talking about impregnating everyone.
Ideas. Yeah. Like, once you hear and switch to the get red pilled on this stuff, you can't un-red pill yourself. Like you can't just like go back to the blue pill and become fucking normie again. You're weird to everybody after that happens. You know,
it can't happen. It's a gift and a curse. You can see
It is.
everything that's going on, but you can see everything that's going on.
Right. And you can't ever not see it again. And it honestly is kind of a curse sometimes. Like, why can't I just be fucking normal?
Yeah.
Why
Like you
can't I
know
just have-
way more, but you want to like kill yourself half the time because of what you know. It's
well,
very emo.
Our dude Rich just said, I want to join the emo caucus. Bro, you're in the emo caucus.
Yeah, you were hanging
That's
out
what's
with
so
us
cool.
all week, man.
All you got to do is say you want to be in the emo caucus, and you are. Follow our pages, join our Discord or our Facebook or our Signal. It's open. You know, we got all kinds of chats that happen all the time. Anyone that wants to join can message me. I also have this link here that I'm going to post up. You can just scan this QR code. I'll give it like 5 seconds. You can rewind it and go back to it at another time. If someone wants to join, scan that and just join us. Toad has to be on another podcast in like 5 minutes. He's going on Tower Gang, and he's going to go.
Yeah, I'm the guest on it.
He's going to face fuck Clint Russell, is what I heard, right?
Yeah, well, if you watched last week's episode, it was a gay, like kumbaya moment, maybe. So maybe the show is continuing. I don't know.
Maybe. We'll
I set
see.
up the streams for tonight, so I sent out the link to the guys. So hopefully it's. I want just a fucking normal Tower Gang episode, man. Just return to Monkey, basically. Just return to this shit.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, fucking 2 weeks ago, I think, or 3 weeks ago, I guess we had like one of the best episodes we've ever had. The endless shrimping. We gave an economics lesson through the lens of racism. Like if you watch that episode, you wouldn't even realize that we were teaching you about economics and time preference, but we were, and it was by us just constantly riffing and joking about black people taking advantage of Red Lobster's endless shrimp and ruining the company. It was awesome. Great episode. I loved it.
I take heavy advantage of endless shrimp at Red Lobster, or I used to. So when I used to live somewhere that had a Red Lobster. So
stop endless shrimping, bro.
All right. I'll do my best. Well, dude, it was awesome having you on the show again. I know we kind of just talked about everything. There was really no format to this. I love talking to you, hanging out. You've been on my show more times than both of my co-hosts have by now. You know, did you know I have 2 co-hosts?
No.
Yeah, I don't think they even remember that they're my co-hosts because I haven't had them on in so long. They were on like one time each, and I was like, oh, yeah, I need to do better about that. But dude, tell us where we can find your shit. Tell us where we can listen to Tower Gang tonight. And yeah.
Tower Gang Toad on Twitter. And yeah, the Tower Gang podcast is the most offensive comedy podcast that has ever existed. Assuming it does still exist, we're going to be going live in about 11 minutes, which is going to be on. We can still go live on YouTube, even though we're kind of like, we're trying to limit our presence because we got nuked on YouTube. So we still live stream there. That's about it. We live stream to Rumble. All the episodes stay up on Rumble. I put the episodes up on Odyssey. We also live stream there. And they wind up on Spotify after the fact and like all the audio platforms. So somehow we're still allowed on there, even though we're unbelievably offensive. And I also have a sports betting podcast called Better Off Dead, which is driving me to suicide recently because I'm losing pretty badly in baseball the last like week or so.
You are a failed sports
well.
bettor. You ruined the lining of your stomach and you're ruining your wallet. So, well, dude, like I said, once again, very good to have you on the show again.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for hanging out at PorkFest all week. It was great to hang out with you. And we'll definitely be talking again. Maybe we'll go do some karaoke down in Boston within the next couple of weeks here.
Yeah, dude.
There's some good places down there. So,
Viva Karaoke, baby. It used to be Limelight. They're back as Viva.
That's how we do it.
Spot. Yeah, I should get back to going again. I used to go every fucking week, dude.
Maybe we'll go to that gay karaoke bar that you were telling me about.
Yeah, if it still exists, it's in Downtown Crossing. I forget the name of it. What the fuck? I don't remember the name of it, but that place was fun.
Yeah. Then you won't have to be swatting bitches off you all night. So
I'll be swatting bears.
All right, man. Well, dude, thanks so much again for coming on, and hope you have a good week. I'll drop you backstage real quick. We can catch up in just a quick second. I'll wrap up the show. All right.
Yeah, man.
All right, guys. Thanks again for watching. I hope you guys had an awesome night. I'll be back on Sunday with my good friend Jeremy Kaufman, and we're gonna have a chat about PorkFest, about his issues with the SEC recently, and LPNH, all the cool stuff that you want to hear about. We're going to talk about it. So I hope you guys have a good night, and I'll see you Sunday.